Hello, thanks for checking out CityGro. Today we're going to chat about our digital waiver tool. It's going to be a pretty quick and somewhat raw uh, walkthrough of our digital waivers. If you'd like to see more, you can always check out our free 14-day trial or call. Our phone number is in the top right-hand corner of our website. You're also welcome to use the text chat feature down below. So for the purpose of this quick demo, we're going to go through a couple things. One is we're going to talk about how easy it is to get set up on waivers. We're going to talk about the different ways there are to sign with digital waivers. And then we're going to touch on some of the different ways that we here at CityGro allow you to put your data to use. It's one of the key differences between us and a lot of other waiver systems out there is that we're really big on tracking customer data, scraping it from the waiver, and actually using it in your marketing efforts to get people to come back. We won't touch as much on security and compliance, although CityGro is fully secured and a compliant waiver system. And we're happy to answer any questions you have there. All right, so let's jump right into the software itself. So when you log into your CityGro portal, you'll get a dashboard that looks like this. Now this is a dummy dashboard, so no live data feeding into it. It might look a little bit empty. But what we're really interested in showing you is how often your customers are coming in. We know this obviously because every time they come in, they sign or can re-sign a waiver. And when I say waiver, it can be really just a sign-in system. We'll walk you through different variations of a sign-in system. But we're interested in the contacts that you're accumulating. We're also interested in if they're opting in. Are they opting in to connect with you via SMS and email? Our statistics show that a business should be able to get 60 to 80% of their customers to engage with them through one of those channels. And then how often are they coming back? So to get started, let's click here on Waivers, one of the tools that we have on the left-hand side here. And so I've added a couple in here, but I'm going to show you how they were added because it's very simple and straightforward to add a waiver. First, we're going to click on Create Waiver. You have a couple different options. You can start from scratch. Maybe you have a Word doc that you just want to copy and paste into a digital waiver. Or what seems to be more common is if you have a PDF, you can select a PDF and simply upload it to the system. So let's go to our personal injury liability waiver. This is just a standard template we downloaded off the internet for the demo. And all I'm going to do is insert some fields over my waiver. So I'm going to put in a simple input. Let's call this our name. Drag it in the place it needs to go. Make it a little bit longer. You can make as many fields as you want. They're all collected in the system as you insert them. But I'm just going to skip right down to a signature. It gives me an example of one there. I'm going to drop in a date that'll automatically be filled out when customers come in. And then I'm going to skip right through a bunch of the settings and advanced things that there are. And I'm just going to save this waiver. Once you've saved it, you can get a link and you can post this link just about anywhere. This link can be emailed if you want people to fill out the waiver before coming in. You can post it on your website. You can text it out, anything like that. So we're going to go ahead and open it. Now we have a host waiver. It's ready to fill out with the information, with customer information. And you can simply click to sign, confirm a signature, and then once they're done filling out the form, they can email themselves a copy of it, agree to any terms and conditions you have. This is customizable to you, and they can submit it through. Once that's submitted, it actually feeds right into your waiver platform. It can also be forwarded into whatever system you need to forward it to. All of your data is kept here in the contacts portion of your portal where you can easily go in. You can see customer interaction with you, how often they come in. You can check to see if their waivers on file. It's very simple. Once you've created it, let's talk about different ways that your customers can now sign your form when coming in. So we've talked a little bit about places online they can do it. Again, you can link to it anywhere from your website, mobile phone, that kind of thing. Let's say that somebody comes into your business and has not signed a waiver. One of the tools we really like is called our CityGro Kiosk. Let's see if I have it open in another tool. No. Just to give you an example of what the kiosk looks like, I'm going to scroll down on the front end of our website for just a sec. If you imagine this is an iPad, it's in a very simple stand. It's a swivel stand. This is customer facing. It's one of the stands we offer. You can also use any third-party stand and iPad system to mount it on the wall or have it freestanding or whatnot. So customer comes in, you have a device there that you control completely. In fact, if you go to your back end under kiosks, let's edit this kiosk. It's going to give you a flow of what your kiosk looks like. Some have a lot of pages. This one looks like it has quite a few pages. You can control everything from the amount of pages that are on here, the data and the questions that you ask, to the background images. So we make it very easy to sign in. Phrase around here we say is as easy as a finger and a phone number. We don't want it much more difficult than that. If they've already signed, then once they put in their phone number, it can jump straight to the end page. Unless you want to ask for more data or show them offers that they have available, it can be as easy as thanks, you're already signed in. Uh, you know, be safe, or depending on your business and the application. Uh, Give them directions on where to go from there. But let's say that they haven't signed a waiver. We're going to flash a quick loading screen. And again, you can put whatever you want on the background here. So we'll use this loading screen to advertise different specials that are going on or complimentary services, things like that. Um, and then if the system recognizes that they're new, we can give them a series of pages. So ask them, whether they're a member or a guest. Again, that's optional. We can collect data from them. Um, and then we can have them sign whatever terms they want, if any, that you need there. And then finally, if you do use our loyalty and offers product, then you can stick offers in here that show up for people, let them know how many more times they need to come in. This will turn green when it's ready to redeem and say redeem now. Then they can click that to redeem it. Otherwise, again, they can land on the ending page. So once this is all set up, you can get it in the App Store. You just download it to your device, and when a customer comes in, they'll be able to check in. So again, they can sign in before they come in. They can get it very quick and easy. They can sign in when they get there. We have a product called Desktop App that as soon as somebody puts in their phone number here, it can show up on the desktop behind the counter for employees to verify that people have checked in, verify all their information, alter it if needed, that kind of thing. And so from there, it's very, very simple and straightforward. Some really obvious benefits. You save a lot of time looking up, digging through file cabinets. There's no storage needed. Um, Unlimited waivers. It's a really good way to go. So, oh, and one more thing I'll mention on that. We do have a lot of people that have signs that if there is a long line to sign a waiver in your store, people could sign in via phone right there. You can post the link on a poster, like a skip the line poster, fill out your waiver on your phone. People can text themselves the link, that kind of thing. And so a lot of different ways to make your waiver system very streamlined and efficient. All right, so I want to branch into the second portion of what we do is any of the data here, rather than just storing in a file cabinet, we want you to be able to use. Now, we don't spam customers, and we encourage you not to spam your customers. We do ask them, however, if they'd like to receive more information. This is an example. May we send texts about special offers and updates? We give multiple ways to say yes. This increases the rate at which people opt in. However, they can say no and move forward. If they say no, we don't opt them in. Whenever you send out a text or an email blast, they won't get it. But for people that do want to stay in contact, it's a very good way to ensure that they come in quite a bit more often. So I'm going to bring in just another slide deck here and just share just a couple things with you. We will get back into the messaging portion of this, but we conducted a study here at CityGro. Asked customers why they don't come back. These were customers in the US in 2018. a third of them didn't come back because they simply just didn't think about it. This is the communication breakdown that businesses need to solve to get their customers come in more often. In fact, we see 60 to 80% of your customers are willing to accept communication from your business. What happens most of the time is you simply forget to ask them. So we make sure we ask everyone, and then we follow a situation like this. Let's just walk through how this looks. Let's say Jim comes in, he signs his waiver, or maybe he re-verifies it at the counter. Might get an instant message thanking him for coming in, maybe give him a way to get feedback, or perhaps a bounce back message. A lot of different options there. From that point, our system watches the clock and tracks how often Jim doesn't return. So hopefully he comes in regularly. If not, because he gets busy, statistics say about 6 out of 10 customers don't come back after their first visit. And it's not necessarily because they don't like your business. It's more often than not just because they don't think about it. They get distracted very easily. We send them a message. It can say anything from a promotion to a, hey, can I help you schedule an appointment? We've got open days, whatever you want to do. Again, if he still doesn't come in, we still have no Jim, then maybe we give him a special offer, and you can drag this out as many times as you want. Maybe you start simple with a small discount, all the way up to we haven't seen Jim for 6 months. Maybe you give him a big buy one get one free or something like that. When Jim comes back, then we start to send a different set of messages. Once we realize Jim's coming back more, we want to get Jim to review your business. We want to get him to bring his friends. And we can see drastic improvements just by asking him to review you. Nothing more complicated now. We just simply ask. So this is what it looks like in what we call our messaging playbook. The first blue one, this is called our welcome message. The goal is to have less than 2% opt out of that message. What will happen is you'll create an incentive for people to opt in. I mean, you can't just ask them, but you could also give them an incentive, free drink, free something, a couple dollars off their entrance fee, whatever it is, for if they join the text club. It's a very common thing to do, and a lot of people do it. Then you start out. So that's what we maintain there. There's series of green ones. These are what we call recapture messages. Now these are redemption rates. So 8% redemption, 7% redemption, 4.3. It starts higher, then kind of drifts the more you contact people. And so just to give you some perspective here, averages in like the mailer industry will be less than 1%. If you're doing 1 to 2%, you're really excited about redemption right there. So by comparison, these are very good. We're very excited about the recapture ones. You could set this up so that 2 weeks later they get a discount, and 4 weeks later they get a bigger discount. 6 weeks, 8 weeks, you can do it by months. It really depends on how frequently your customers should be coming in. Some businesses should see them more often than others. This pink one here is feedback and reviews. We like to see a 3 times increase in reviews and 2 times less negative reviews. The way this works is, again, after you recognize people are coming back in fairly often, you ask them how their experience was and ask if they'll give you a review. I'll put a link right into the text message, and it makes it really easy for people to review your business. And because it's easy and people are asked to, they do it. That's just kind of the simple truth behind our review platform, is we just ensure that everyone gets asked, and then they do it. We also invite them to give feedback right there on the text or email so that they can give any negative feedback to you rather than taking that social. And then our anniversary message tends to get the highest redemption rate because these tend to include a lot of freebies on birthdays and anniversaries, things like that. So you can set basically an anniversary message based on anything. You can do birthdays. I have a lot of people that do half birthdays, which is kind of a fun concept and gets people to come in, things like that. So that's what we call our automated messaging playbook. We also offer just one-time blasts where you can get in and you can send a blast out to the thousands of people who have opted in to hear from you. This is very standard in both the text and email world, where you can increase your business at a moment's notice just by getting that word out there. Anything from last minute promotions to maybe you have inventory that you need to get rid of, anything like that. Average here starts anywhere from 1% up to 12% conversion rates. And then reminder campaigns can get 3 times the results on your blasts. And what the way this works is, let's say you send out a message on any given Friday. It's a weekend special. Well, what tends to happen is people receive that message, think through that message and say, yeah, I'm interested. I'll go in tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and they get distracted. They forget about it. So we send a reminder, usually within the last 24 hours of a promotion, and say, hey, last chance, make sure you use this. And what tends to happen is we catch a lot of people who had intentions to use it, just never did, and now they drop what they're doing and go do it, or they just make sure they get it in for the day. So reminders are a really good way to increase your blast results. Okay, so again, just to recap, the waiver platform with CityGro is much more than just a very simplified waiver. It's really one of the only kind of waiver systems that takes a fully compliant digital waiver and turns it into not only a waiver or a sign-in process, but turns it into a marketing channel where you can monitor customers' behavior, how often they sign in, and then get them to come back. It's all available within our CityGro dashboard, where you can create, blasts, build out your automations, things like that. Again, we appreciate you checking in our tools. If you have any questions for us at all, please feel free to reach out via our text chat module. We'll get you set up on a free trial where you can dig in and get dirty with the system, and go from there.